Alright, so in this video we're going to make it so that we can submit posts through our add post form, submit it to our database. Alright, so I'm on the addpost.php page, which is in the admin folder. Alright, and I'm going to open that up in Notepad++. Now what we're going to do is, you can see the form attribute action we have going to add_post.php, which is the file that we're currently in. Alright, so what we need to do is test to see if the form's been submitted. Alright, so what I'm going to do is open up, actually I'm going to do this above this code block. Okay, I'm going to create a new PHP code block. Alright, and to check and see if this form was submitted, we're going to check for the submit button. Okay, and we can access it through its name, which is submit. Alright, and we're going to use the isSet function. So we're going to say if isSet, and we're going to put in post submit. Alright, so we're checking to see if the submit button was clicked. Alright, so let's just test this out. We'll just say die, and we'll give off a message. The submit button was pressed. Alright, so if we save this and we go ahead and reload the add post form, nothing happens. Okay, but if we go ahead and submit the form, it dies and gives us this message. Alright, so that's how we can differentiate which functionality to run, because if we post it, obviously we want stuff to happen. We want to make an insert into the database. If it's not clicked, then obviously we just want to display the form. Alright, so let me get rid of this. And what I want to do next is I want to assign some of the post variables. Alright, so let's get the title. Okay, so this variable is going to be set to post title. Alright, so there's a lot of different things that you can do to, I guess, add security to your script. There's a few different functions and methods you can use. I'm going to use what's called MySQL real escape string, and what that does is it's going to escape any characters that could be harmful that someone could submit. Alright, so I'm going to wrap this post in that function. Okay, so it's going to be MySQL real escape string. Okay, and we'll pass this in. Alright, but the first parameter needs to be our connection. Alright, our database connection. So we actually need to move this, the database object, up to the top. And I want to put it so that it's not inside of the if post statement, because we need to access the object down here as well. Alright, so the connection is going to be db link. Alright, now let's just give this a test and echo out title, and then we'll die. Okay. Okay, so let's just put something in here, submit, and we get something. So we're going to get the rest of our post variables. So we got title, we have body, alright, category, author tags. Alright, so we've assigned all of our variables. What we want to do next is I'm going to do some very simple validation. We don't want the user to be able to submit an empty form, so we're going to have a few required fields. Okay, so we're just going to create an if statement. We're going to say if title is equal to nothing, and let's see, body, we want these fields to be required. Category, and this should be a comma, and author. I'm sorry, these shouldn't be commas. These should be ors. Alright, so you need the double pipes, or. Okay, so, and then we'll do author. Okay, so basically we're saying if title, body, category, or author are empty, then we want to do something. Okay, and what we're going to do is just set an error. And this is just going to say, please fill out all required fields. Alright, and then we're going to say else. Okay, so if these are none of these are empty, then I'm going to create a query, and this is going to be an insert query. So we're going to say insert into posts, and we want to put the columns we want to enter our values in, which will be title, body, category, author, and tags. Alright, and then we're going to say values. Okay, so values, we're going to have title, basically just all our variables, body, category is going to be an integer, so we actually don't need the quotes. Alright, and then we have author and tags. Alright, so that's our query. Now we need to run it. Okay, so I'm actually going to just say insert row equals db query and I think that should do it. The way we have the actually this needs to be db insert. The way we have the class set up, I'm just going to open up the database class, and we're calling insert. Alright, so basically it's going to do the query, and then it's going to check it, and if it goes through, then it's going to relocate us to the index page along with a message variable. Alright, so let's just give this a try. Okay, I'm just going to say test post. Category, let's say tutorials. Okay, submit. Unknown column tutorials. Okay, so something's wrong with our query. Okay, so it's getting the category name. We need it to be the category ID. So let's go back, let's go down here in the add post, and for our select, actually hold on a second here. Alright, so we don't have a value for our option. Alright, so we need to add value, and this needs to be the ID. So PHP echo row ID, because we need to submit the category ID. Alright, so let's do that. Let's go back and try this again. Alright. Wow, I wasn't expecting it to work. I figured we'd have to do a little debugging, but looks good. So now we have our test post. We have the category, the author. If we click on it, it has everything that we just entered. Now what we need is a message saying that a post was submitted. Okay, so you can't see it now because I left the page, but once we were redirected, we had a get variable for a message, something like message post added. Okay, something like that. So we want to grab that and output that to the user after submission. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open up the header. Okay, so this is the admin header. Alright, and down at the bottom here, we want to test and see if the get variable is there. Okay, so we'll say PHP if get. Remember, it's get if it's in the URL. It's post if it's from a form. All right, so get MSG actually, we want to check and see if it's set, so we want to use isSet. Surround that with the isSet function. Okay, so if it's set, then we want to display a div with the class of alert, and then alert success. I think that's going to make it green. Yeah. Alright, and then inside of that we just want to have the actual message. So PHP echo get MSG. Alright, so that'll give us the error. And I want to use a security function around this called HTML entities. And basically it's just going to prevent people from adding harmful tags and stuff like that. Alright, so that should do it. Save that. Alright, so now what I want to do is the same thing we did for add post, but for add category. Alright, so that we can add categories. So I'm going to open that up. And this is going to be very similar, so I'm actually going to copy, let's see, I'm actually going to just copy this whole thing. Okay, I'm going to paste that right here. Alright, so we're checking for the submit button, okay, which is here. And all we want is the name. Alright, so that's really the only variable we need. So get rid of all those. And let's change this to name. Change this to name. Okay, and name is going to be required. We can get rid of all the rest of these. And if it's not, we're going to get the error. And if it is filled in, then we're going to do the query. So into categories. All right, and then we can get rid of all these. And we just want name. And then we can get rid of all these. And we just want name. And then we're going to say update row equals db update. Alright, so save that. And basically, if we look at our database class, okay, just like the insert query, this is going to redirect us. Alright, and it's going to also add the MSG variable, which we already have in the header. Okay, the header file is checking for this, and if it has it, it's going to just display it for us. So let's go ahead and try this. If we go to add category, we'll say test category, submit, and we get record updated, and then you can see down here we have test category. Okay, so everything's working pretty good. One thing I want to do is when we submit something, I want it to be at the top, not down at the bottom. Alright, so all we need to do is change the order inside of our select query. Okay, so let's go to index PHP inside of our admin folder.